Well, we have a breaking news alert for you. 2 more Israeli hostages have reportedly just been released from Hamas's custody. According to the terror group, the 2 elderly female hostages were released in a deal brokered by Egypt and Qatar.
Yeah, in a statement shared by Hamas spokesperson Al Abu Abaida, he said, quote, "We have decided to release them for compelling humanitarian and health reasons," unquote. The identities of the hostages specifically not known, but we will keep you updated with further details when we get them.
And of course, always happy to hear when any hostages are released. So that is good news. Let's bring in our panel today to discuss this and more. Former Undersecretary of Defense and former U.S. Secretary of Veterans Affairs, Robert Wilkie, and former NYPD Commissioner Bernie Kerik. Great to have you both with us here. Robert, I'm going to start with you here. Your thoughts about the level of involvement of the U.S. in this ongoing war. They seem to be walking a very thin line between saying we are 100% pro-Israel, we are behind Israel, but Israel, maybe you shouldn't do this, don't do this. It seems like kind of a strange situation this administration is in.
Well, Katrina, you're so right. I mean, this plays to the schizophrenia of this administration. We have an extreme national security interest in caging up Iran. We also have a moral and a national security interest in supporting Israel. This administration cannot decide what to do. This is the anniversary of the bombing in Beirut, the death of 231 United States Marines. That was not an existential threat to the United States. The bigger threat then was the Soviet Union. The Hamas and Hezbollah and Iranian threat are threats to the very heart of Israel, and a threat that could lead to the destruction of the Jewish state. This is why it is just lunacy for this administration to be telling the Israelis what they should and shouldn't do in order to protect their people and to preserve their nation.
Yeah, Bernie Kerik, I wanted to ask you, there's something that bothers me about the whole hostage situation. I feel like they are using these people, manipulating the media, manipulating the United States, for that matter, by using them, which may be delaying an invasion. It's almost like, I almost think back, if Reagan were president, I don't know that he would have done this. It was like, well, release all of them, and then maybe we'll show you some mercy, but we're coming in, you know, hell or high water, we're coming in. I wanted to get your thoughts on that.
Well, it's ironic, you know, Bob just mentioned the bombing in Beirut in 1983. I actually lived in Saudi Arabia from 79 to 84. I was there when they seized the embassy in Tehran, and I was there for the bombing in Beirut. And I can tell you, Reagan, that's the way he operated. He did it with the Iranians. In this case, these guys are using the hostages for exactly one purpose, and that is their own dialogue, right? To create their own dialogue and create their own message. And they are phenomenal at messaging, whether it's Hezbollah or Hamas or Al-Qaeda or ISIS, doesn't make any difference. They all operate the same way, and they're phenomenal at getting their message out publicly. That's what they're trying to do now, to use the hostages to slow down, I believe, to slow down the Israelis from coming in.
You know, interesting. Secretary Wilkie, you did mention that today marks the 40th anniversary of the bombing of the Marine barracks in Beirut, Lebanon, where 220 Marines, 18 sailors, and 3 soldiers were killed. Want to get your thoughts about that and the symbolic nature of that, if you think there is some. I mean, we know that the attack on Israel was on the anniversary of the Yom Kippur War.
Sure. Well, Katrina, I think there's a more important anniversary coming up next week, and that is the 44th anniversary of the taking of the U.S. Embassy in Tehran and the taking of hostages and the holding hostage of the American nation. And once again, we had a feckless American president who did not understand the power of his country. He did not understand the complexities of the world. He wanted to sing Kumbaya with every every killer on the planet. And what we sadly see now is a repeat of that. We have, as I mentioned, the Biden schizophrenia. At the same time that they're telling the Israelis to hold back, they're still trying to find a middle way with the Iranians, a country that is bound and determined not only to wipe out Israel, but to destroy, along with its partners, China and Russia, the United States, and our power in the world.
Yeah, final thought, Bernie.
Listen, I think this is something the American people should take a step back and look at. You know, Bob mentions 1979, the 1983 bombings, and you have to look at the history going forward, whether it was the embassies in Kenya and Tanzania, the USS Cole, the 9/11 that I oversee seeing the response to. They're not stopping. This ideology is not stopping. It's not slowing down. And you can call these groups whatever name they're titled by. They want the demise of Christianity. They want the demise of Israel. They want the demise of the United States and every Western world that doesn't believe the same laws and religious beliefs they do. And they're willing to kill to get there.
All right, we're going to leave it there. Very well said. Secretary Robert Wilkie, Bernie Kerik, thanks so much for your analysis.